The largest and most lavishly decorated church of this period that still survives is St. Mark's in Venice. It was begun in 1063, only 9 years after the Great Schism between the Western and Eastern churches. Venice was a province of Ravenna and for some time, thus, a Byzantine dependency. The Church of St. Mark's was both a palace, chapel for the Venetian rulers, and a proper cathedral, or a bishop's church, so named because it houses the bishop's throne. The church was so extensive, employing 5 domes in place of Daphne's single dome, for comparison, that the classical system used at Daphne had to be expanded here. The present structure replaced 2 earlier churches of the same name on the site. It is modeled on the Church of the Holy Apostles in Constantinople, which had been rebuilt by Justinian after the riots of 532 and was later destroyed. The Venetians had long been under Byzantine rule, and they remained artistically dependent on the East for many years after they had developed these type of structures and become politically and commercially powerful in their own right. And for context, Venice in this time period was one of the wealthiest cities in the world. It was a meeting place of commerce between the East and the West on the Adriatic Sea. Here you can see the side view. The Doge's chapel, or the Doge's residence, is on the right, St. Mark's Cathedral on the left, and you can also see the 4 Tetrarchs, which is a statue that was stolen from Rome and put into the side piece here, or moved. So, and I'm just going to use my cursor and show you it's right over here. So there's a lot of history in this area. At St. Mark's, the Greek cross plan is emphasized since each arm of the cross has its dome of its own. As you can see here, these separate domes. These domes are not raised on drums. Instead, they are encased in bulbous wooden helmets covering by copper sheeting and topped by ornate lanterns, so that the domes appear taller and more visible at a distance. So you can see the openings here where they can light up, and it creates a very dramatic effect. The Byzantine manner transmitted to Italy became known as the Greek style. Sometimes it was carried by models from Constantinople, but most often it was brought directly by visiting Byzantine artists. At St. Mark's, Byzantine artists and the locals, trained by them, executed the mosaics, which we can see here on the front. The Greek style also appeared on a number of magnificent churches and monasteries in Sicily, a former Byzantine holding that was taken from the Muslims by the Normans in 1091 and then united with southern Italy. The Norman kings considered themselves the equals of the Byzantine emperors and proved it by calling in teams of warriors from Constantinople and teams of artists to decorate their splendid religious buildings. Here's another close-up of the mosaics. So you see a couple different things in the structure. You see the Byzantine style. You see highly decorated surfaces, gold leaf, copper. Look at the different columns in the different types of stone taken from different quarries. So it's not a consistent, they're literally showing off all the various different materials that are coming into the seaport. They had a great many materials available to them, and they used all of them in the building of this magnificent chapel. Venice is one of the most beautiful art cities in the world. If you ever take a trip there, this is definitely the highlight, is St. Mark's Basilica, which is in St. Mark's Square and is in the center of Venice on the coast of the Adriatic Sea.